Well, hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to implement a drag and drop functionality in Flutter. So over here, I have this amazing UI, and if you click on one of those products or items, it gets added to a cart and the number of items present inside of the cart increases. And now when I click on this, we are taken to a new screen which contains a list of items which we added to the cart. Now in this UI, I'm going to add the functionality of deleting an item from the cart. And the way you would delete something is by grabbing an item and then dragging it to this bucket or the delete icon. In the previous video, we actually created this UI and added some functionalities like add to cart and showing the total number of items present in the cart. So if you're interested in knowing that, make sure to watch that video as well. This video is actually a continuation of the previous one, but if you're here just to see the implementation of drag and drop in Flutter, then this video can also act as a standalone video on that topic. Alright, so I am here in my project directory and I have made this whole project using block pattern. And to implement block pattern, I have used a dependency called block pattern, and then over here we have a main dot dot where the code for the first screen's UI resides, and then there's cart dot dot which holds the code for the second screen. So I'm gonna open it up and let me quickly go through some of the things which are gonna be important. So first we have the stream builder widget as the root of our widget tree. Then we receive a list of food items from it, and then we pass on the food items list to the cart body and to the bottom bar widget. So then I will go to the cart body widget, and that takes a list of food items and renders a widget called food item list. Now food item list returns a list view which maps the food items list and returns a cart list item widget, and that cart list item takes a single food item. Now I will go into the cart list item. Every list item that you see here is a cart list item. So now we'll make these cart list items draggable. Therefore, I'm going to extract this container widget and name it as draggable child. Then I will just cut the draggable child from here and I will return a draggable widget. So the way you implement drag and drop in Flutter is very simple. You need to make use of just two widgets, namely draggable and drag target. So every draggable has a drag target where it can be dropped, and that's it, simple enough. So we have made the draggable widget. Now I will set the max simultaneous drags to 1 so as to prevent the user from dragging more than one item at a time. Okay, now whenever a widget is dragged, the UI has to be updated in some ways, and for that we make use of three arguments, namely child when dragging, and a feedback. So first I will write child and paste the draggable child that I cut earlier over here. And now I'll run the app. Okay, so the app has launched. I will add some item to the cart and then I'll click on this button which takes us to the next screen, and suddenly there's nothing. So to show something when a drag occurs, we need to give a feedback. So I will write feedback and I will pass a widget called draggable child feedback, and this also accepts a food item. Then I will just copy the draggable child widget and paste it here, and I will rename it to draggable child feedback. Now I will hot restart the app and try to do the same thing again. But this time something weird happens. Well, that's because we need to wrap everything with a material widget. Alright, also I will wrap the material widget with an opacity widget and set its opacity to 0.7. And now I will hot restart the app. I will add an item and I will drag it. And there we go. You can see that we now get a feedback as we drag the item. So that's what feedback does. So I will come to this draggable widget and I will write child when dragging, and then I will write food item dot quantity greater than 1 question mark draggable child food item colon container. So this means that if the quantity of the food item that we are currently dragging is more than 1, then we wish to show the draggable child, or else we will show an empty container. So let's see how that looks. I restarted the app and did the routine of adding stuff, and I will drag this item which is present in larger quantity. Notice that a faded widget comes off and there's a placeholder widget which is left behind. So that gives an idea that there are multiple amount of same item present in the cart. Whereas watch what happens when I will drag this item. A faded widget comes off but no other widget is left behind. So that basically shows that this was the last or a single item of a specific type. Alright, now let's start working on our drag target. So at the very bottom we have this widget called custom app bar, and it contains the app bar that you see over here. And we want to make this delete icon as our drag target. So I'm going to remove this widget and I will write drag target widget. Then just over here I'll create a stateful widget named drag target widget. And inside of the build method I will write drag target, and it takes a food item. So I'll write food item, and then we will first create our drag target. So I'll write build, and it takes a context, a list incoming, and a list rejected. And then I will write return, and I will paste the delete icon widget over here. Now to remove a food item we need to know that which food item is being dragged over the drag target. So I'll go back to Draggable widget and I will write data food item. So this data is what connects a Draggable widget to a specific drag target. In this case we are passing food item as data. Now let's see how to make use of this data. So I'll go back to the drag target widget and I will write on will accept, and this takes a food item as well. Usually when you have multiple draggables, you compare the data that is being passed and decide whether this drag target would accept a specific draggable widget. If it accepts, then on will accept returns true, otherwise it returns false. But in this case we don't need to compare anything since we just have a single draggable, so our on will accept would always return true. Now we need to carry our action after the draggable is accepted by the drag target. So we'll write on accept food item, and at the top here I'll retrieve the block which manages a list of food item. I created and explained about this in the previous video, so make sure to watch that if you don't follow this. So to retrieve that block I will simply write final cart list block equal block provider dot get block cart list block. Then I will come inside of this on accept method and I will write list block dot remove from list, and I will pass the selected food item. Alright, that should work. Also let me show you the definition of remove from list function. So the remove from list is present inside of the provider.dart, and we simply compare with the food item.quantity. So if the current food item's quantity is greater than 1, so we decrease the item quantity by 1, otherwise we remove it from the list using food items.remove, and then we simply return the updated list to the block. So I have hot restarted this app, and now I will try to delete something by dragging it, and there we go, it gets removed from the list. The prices and quantity are also decreased dynamically, and everything's great. Now ideally we would also want to give some indication to our users that they have reached the drag target, and we'll do so by changing the color of our list item. Now you could simply make a global variable of type color and give that color to the cart item container and change its value using the setState method. But I'm going to change the color using block pattern just because I wanted to show its implementation once again. So previously we maintained a list of food items in our stream, but this time we'll have a color. So inside of the block folder I'll create a file named listStyleColorBlock.dart, and inside of it I'll import a Dart async package, I'll import a Dart UI, I'll import our block pattern.dart, I'll import material.dart, and I'll also import rx.dart. Then I'll create a class called colorBlock which extends block base. To create a block using block pattern dependency you need to extend block base. Then I'll create an empty constructor. Then I'm going to create our stream, so I'll write var color controller equals behavior subject color dot seeded colors dot white. Seeded is basically the initial value that is passed to the stream. Then I'll create the stream, so I'll write stream color get color stream, and it returns color controller dot stream. Then I'll create a sync component, so I'll write sync of type color get color sync, and it returns color controller dot sync. Now here's where the sort of business logic comes in. So I'll just create a function called setColor, and it takes a color. Then I'll write colorSync.add color. So whenever the setColor would be called, whichever color is passed inside of it will be added to our sync, and then sync will make changes to our stream, and that would be reflected in our UI. Also I would override a dispose method to dispose our controller. Okay, now I'll go back to cart.dart and I'll scroll to draggable child feedback, and I will wrap this container with a stream builder widget, and inside of the stream I'll write colorBlock.colorStream. but to use it we need to tell about this new block to our block provider widget. So I'll go back to main.dart, and in here I'll write block I color block, and then inside of the build method I will get this block by writing this line of code. Okay, great. Now inside of the box decoration I'm going to write color snapshot.data is not equal null question mark snapshot.data colon colors.white. So if the snapshot.data somehow returns null, then we wish to show a white color, otherwise we'll show whatever is maintained in the snapshot. Alright, so now as the data in the stream would change, it would also be reflected over here. Okay, so now I will come to the drag target and I will write the same line to get color block over here, and then inside of the on except I will write color block dot set color colors dot white. Then inside of the on will accept I'm going to write color block dot set color colors dot red, and then I'm also going to target another event which is on leave, which is triggered when the user does not drops the item on the drag target. So on leave takes a food item, and inside of on leave I'll write color block dot set color colors dot white. Now I'm going to restart the app again, and I'm going to add some items like this beef barbecue burger, and then some kick-ass burgers, and then I need a chili cheeseburger, and then 2 supreme pizza burgers. Great. Now I'm going to click on this cart, and there we go. So we are about to spend $93 on burgers, but suddenly I wish to cancel some of them. So I'll simply drag this kick-ass burger to the delete icon, and there we go. The price decreases and so does the quantity. Also, chili cheese and beef barbecue are too expensive as compared to supreme pizza burger, so I'll just remove them as well. Just simple drag and drop, drag and drop. Also notice that this time there was no child which was left behind, and that makes the UI much more sensible. Alright, so I hope you liked the video and learned something new today. Also make sure to watch the previous video where we start making the UI for the home and the cart screen. The code for this project is linked in the description below, so make sure to check that out as well. Also, if you have any query, then feel free to comment down below, and don't forget to like the video. And if you're new, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out some more content on this channel. I'm sure you wouldn't be disappointed. So see you soon.